rebuttal for Honorable Jared Okello, but even as you give that reaction, who then decides who is most popular? Because there's this notion that they conduct research on this, opinion polls. But are you involved as a candidate to agree that it is indeed true that between myself and my competitor, they are the ones who are popular?
Let me start by what Jared Okello just had mentioned, the issue of funds. That ODM is very transparent in the issue of funds. And nothing can be far from the truth, because I don't know why Kalonzo was complaining if then they were very transparent on the issue of funds. You remember ODM raised funds using pay bill number 991-444 for the repeat election in 2017, which they boycotted. We never know, because this is a public fund. You know, when you raise funds to build a church and you no longer want to build a church, you must explain why you want to build a hotel. You know, you can't just use that fund the way you want. You remember also they raised funds in 2015 to pay the striking teachers using pay bill number 672. You know, my memory always served me very well. And no single teacher was ever paid. We have never been told. So if there is a party that is not transparent in funds, then it is ODM. So Jared Okello, please let us be truthful sometimes when we are in such a media. I know you like the truth, and in action you are actually a hustler, but in physically you are in ODM. So let me come to whatever you had said.
Yeah.
I know, because you have been supporting. That is why I gave an example of bursary. You know, he decided all kids, whether you are with disability or from the poor background, to uplift them through education. You know, he's a hustler spirit. You know, so let me come to the issue of who then have the say in the political party.
Do you have at least a chance to see what the opinion polls say, even take part in it?
First of all, I told you that we have three main ways in which we can pick a candidate. One is through interview. We did that one, and for the presidential candidate of UDA, which then there were competitors, a youth, a person with disability, and the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, that is William Ruto. The person with disability accepted because our constitution requires that you must have a degree. She was still in school, she did not have a degree. So there was that interview. There was also the other issue of consensus. And I think in UDA you have seen that whenever we do consensus, we come out to the public, like what we did in Narok. We had consensus, and the 4 contestants came out and said, yes, we agreed, we looked at the opinion poll, we settled on Patrick Ole Ntutu. Tongoyo was there, who was another contestant. Soipan was there, who was another contestant. Honorable Lemaine Korei of Narok South was there, and we reached a consensus. So it is an open secret for us. Yeah. When you see what we did with Boni Alale and Malala, you know, it was something that was both of them reached, and they came out and said, we agreed because we have checked the opinion polls and so on. For ODM, we have seen people dropping, including the party leader, dropping the bind, the aspiration.
The party chairman.
The party chairman, dropping to be Homa Bay governor. But where did they reach the consensus? It's a hidden secret. When did they talk? Is there something that we don't know? Where was the political, the opinion polls?
Yeah.
Yes, were we told? And was the public informed? Were the people of Homa Bay informed the way we informed the people of Narok? And even we had a rally in Narok to inform them this is how we arrived at this decision. You know, we must be open, especially to the electorate. We don't know if Mbadi was subjected into undue pressure, and probably now is even under stress, but because there is nothing he can do because the party is a dictatorial party, then he just have to accept. We never know, because if they came out and told us. So for us, we have those ones. And then again, we will have party primaries and nomination on 14th. And I invite Jared Okello to witness how party primaries can be carried out in a fair and transparent manner. He says that this will be our first party primaries. Yeah. But remember, in 2017, it was the first for Jubilee as a party to carry out party primaries, which we did very well, and that reflected in our strength in National Assembly, in our strength in the number of governors that we had, in our strength in the number of the women rep that we had, in our strength in the number of senators and MCS. We had more than a half.
But the primaries were stopped midway.
Yeah, it was stopped so that...
you say that it was done well if it was stopped midway?
Trevor...
Because it was so chaotic that they couldn't continue, it had to be stopped.
Trevor, if you are on a journey, and you stop because of a puncture, it does not mean you have aborted the journey. It does not mean that the journey is not successful. The journey nonetheless have been successful.
Okay.
And that is why, because if it was not successful, why do we have the highest number of members of parliament, almost close to 200? Why do you have the highest number of governors as Jubilee? Why did you have the highest number of MCS as Jubilee? Why did you have the highest number of the national representation? Because we had members of parliament from Nyanza, where I come from. We had members of parliament from Western, where they think that they are stronghold. We had members of parliament from the coast and from the north. So Jubilee carried out successful, transparent nomination process, but they had a little puncture, which they resolved very quickly and move on. Unlike the others that they did not have a puncture, but they had a whole engine block out.